Welcome to Aram Aesthetic, your cozy corner for all things vintage charm and timeless beauty. Here we dive into enchanting styles inspired by classic English cottages, delicate florals, and that warm, nostalgic feeling that makes a house a home. Whether you love soft pastels, floral patterns, or simply want to bring a touch of whimsy into your space, you're in the right place. We're all about celebrating elegance with a relaxed, inviting vibe. So grab a cup of tea, get comfy, and let's explore beautiful aesthetics together, one charming detail at a time. Imagine stepping into a cozy English cottage living room where soft pastels and floral patterns wrap around you like a warm hug. The velvet armchairs and knitted throws invite you to sink in and relax, while lace curtains gently filter the winter sunlight, casting a magical glow. Antique porcelain teacups sit ready on a rustic wooden table, adding a touch of vintage charm. Well, it's a space that feels timeless and effortlessly inviting, perfect for quiet moments. Think of a kitchen that feels like a warm embrace on a cold winter morning. Pastel ceramics and floral mugs line open shelves, while gingham curtains frame the farmhouse sink, letting in soft light. The wooden table with lace placemats and dried wildflowers adds a delicate, homey touch. Cream cabinetry with brass handles and a vintage stove bring character and charm, making this kitchen a heartwarming spot to start the day. Picture a dining room where rustic charm meets vintage whimsy. A wide wooden table is surrounded by mismatched floral chairs, each telling its own story. Lace runners and pastel porcelain plates create a delicate setting, while a large floral centerpiece adds a burst of color. Soft yellow wallpaper with rose patterns and a vintage sideboard adorned with embroidered linens make this room feel like a lovely winter retreat. Imagine a sitting room bathed in soft winter light where a floral chaise lounge invites quiet reflection by a wide bay window. Pastel cushions in rose and mint add gentle pops of color, while a vintage floral rug warms the wooden floor. A rustic fireplace decorated with dried flower garlands and antique brass candlesticks adds cozy charm, making this room a perfect haven for peaceful afternoons. Think of a bedroom that feels like a vintage dream. A wide, wrought iron bed is dressed in a patchwork quilt of soft pinks and blues, while a wooden dresser holds lace doilies and porcelain trinkets. Pastel floral wallpaper and embroidered cushions on a window seat create a serene atmosphere, with soft wool rugs adding warmth to polished wooden floors. It's a space made for restful winter nights. Imagine a sewing room filled with vintage charm and creative energy. A wide wooden table is scattered with floral fabric swatches and antique sewing notions. Pastel cabinets hold lace and ribbons, while a floral upholstered armchair offers a cozy spot to sit. Lace curtains frame wide windows, letting in soft light, and porcelain vases with dried flowers add delicate beauty to the warm wooden floors. Picture a library room where vintage whimsy meets quiet elegance. Wide wooden bookshelves overflow with leather-bound books and floral porcelain vases. A pastel floral armchair with a knitted throw beckons for reading, while a vintage wooden desk with lace doilies and a brass lamp adds character. Lace curtains soften the light from wide windows, and a floral rug warms the polished hardwood floor, creating a serene retreat. Imagine a breakfast nook that feels like a gentle winter morning. A rustic wooden table is set with floral ceramic dishes, surrounded by built-in benches with pastel gingham cushions. Lace curtains frame wide windows, revealing snowy garden views. A vintage floral rug softens the stone floor, while antique porcelain teapots and cups on wooden shelves add a charming, timeless touch to this cozy corner. Think of a craft room where vintage whimsy inspires creativity. A wide wooden table is covered with floral fabric, surrounded by pastel-painted storage drawers filled with ribbons and lace. A floral upholstered chair offers comfort, while lace curtains on wide windows let in soft winter light. A floral rug on wooden floors and shelves displaying antique porcelain jars and dried flowers complete this inviting, creative space. Imagine a music room where vintage charm fills the air. A wide wooden piano draped with floral embroidered cloth takes center stage, paired with a floral upholstered stool. Lace curtains frame wide windows, letting in gentle winter light. A floral rug and soft pastels warms the wooden floor, while shelves hold antique sheet music and porcelain figurines, creating a space where vintage whimsy and melody blend beautifully. Picture a hallway that welcomes you with soft floral hues and vintage touches. Wide wooden floorboards are softened by a runner rug in pinks and blues. Pastel-painted benches with floral cushions sit under lace-curtained windows, while antique brass hooks hold embroidered bags. A wooden console table displays vintage porcelain vases filled with dried flowers, making this hallway feel like a gentle passage into a cozy winter retreat. Imagine a pantry that feels like a secret vintage treasure. Wide wooden shelves are stocked with pastel ceramic jars and floral tins, while lace curtains filter soft winter light. A rustic wooden table with embroidered linens invites quiet moments, and a vintage floral rug warms the stone floor. Antique porcelain pitchers filled with dried flowers add delicate charm to this cozy, organized space. Picture a sunroom filled with natural light and vintage whimsy. Wide wicker furniture with floral cushions and soft pastels invites relaxation, while lace curtains frame large windows, revealing snowy garden views. A floral-patterned rug warms the wooden floor, and vintage porcelain lamps with embroidered shades add soft illumination. Small wooden tables hold dried flower bouquets and delicate vases, creating a serene winter sanctuary. Imagine a pantry room that feels like a cozy vintage nook. Wide wooden shelves hold pastel-colored ceramic jars and floral tins, while embroidered linens cover rustic wooden tables. Lace curtains on wide windows soften the winter light, and a floral rug in muted pinks and blues warms the stone floor. Antique porcelain pitchers filled with dried flowers complete this charming, functional space. Picture a lounge area where vintage whimsy and comfort meet. Wide floral upholstered sofas in pastel pink and cream invite you to sit and unwind. Lace curtains frame wide windows, revealing snow-covered garden shrubs outside. A vintage wooden coffee table with embroidered linens and porcelain teacups adds charm, while soft floral rugs warm the wooden floor, creating a cozy, inviting space filled with gentle winter light. Imagine a breakfast room where vintage charm brightens chilly mornings. A wide wooden table is set with pastel floral china and lace placemats, surrounded by wooden chairs with embroidered cushions. Lace curtains frame wide windows showing snowy garden views. A vintage floral rug softens the stone floor, while wooden shelves display antique porcelain teapots and dried flower arrangements, making this space feel like a warm, welcoming retreat. Picture a reading nook that feels like a vintage dream. A wide, floral, upholstered armchair with pastel cushions invites quiet moments. while a vintage wooden side table holds lace doilies and porcelain vases. Lace curtains frame wide windows, letting in soft winter light. A floral rug on wooden floors and shelves filled with antique books and dried flower bouquets complete this cozy, charming retreat. Imagine a utility room where vintage whimsy meets practical charm. Wide wooden shelves hold pastel ceramic jars and floral tins, while a rustic wooden table is covered with embroidered linens. Lace curtains on wide windows let in soft winter light, and a floral rug in pink and blue tones warms the stone floor. Antique porcelain pitchers filled with dried flowers add a delicate touch to this cozy, functional space. Picture the rear garden of a romantic English cottage dusted with snow. Pastel floral climbing roses wrap around wooden trellises, while vintage wrought iron garden furniture with floral cushions invites peaceful outdoor moments. Lace bunting flutters gently between trees, and a rustic wooden potting bench holds ceramic pots. Soft winter light casts gentle shadows over cobblestone paths, creating a serene and charming garden scene, perfect for quiet contemplation. Imagine the back garden of a romantic English cottage, where vintage whimsy blooms even in winter. A cozy wooden pergola draped with pastel floral garlands shelters wrought iron seating with floral cushions. Lace curtains hang softly from the pergola, and a rustic wooden table holds antique porcelain pitchers filled with dried flowers. Snow-covered flower beds and winding cobblestone paths bordered by soft winter greenery complete this enchanting outdoor retreat. Thanks so much for joining us today as we explored the romantic English cottage style inspired by Lily James and Cath Kidston's vintage winter whimsy. From cozy living rooms to enchanting back gardens, we've seen how soft pastels, floral patterns, and vintage touches create spaces full of warmth and charm. If you enjoyed this journey into timeless elegance, please like this video, subscribe to Aurum Aesthetic for more inspiring content, and drop a comment below to share your favorite detail or ideas. We love hearing from you.